What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 Postgame Show, powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me today in his new digs is Dougie Fresh. Yeah, Doug.
Hey guys,
moving to Jacksonville. Today's you literally just moved in here, which is why you're currently standing in front of a whiteboard.
This is right. Yes. Supposed to get here yesterday. Didn't get here till much later today than I thought possible. But enough about me. Let's talk about the Pirates and Phillies. I don't know how good the internet is. I got hooked up to the internet 5 minutes ago. So I already see Jim fading in and out, and I hope it's yours and not mine.
Well, so that we're going to have issues here because, again, you just moved in today. Your internet's a little wonky as my door opens up with the dog walking in. I literally just walked in the door from a 6-hour car ride. I was in Pittsburgh for the weekend. I drove home today, so I just walked in the door. And as soon as I walk in the house, my wife informs me, hey, our internet's been gone. It's been out since Friday. And
but let's get the important part of that statement is that you went to 2 games and the Pirates won. You didn't go to a game today and the Pirates lost. We may be onto something here.
That's it right there. It was an interesting day. Well, we are going to get through this postgame show though for everybody watching and listening. Lots to talk about today. Obviously not as fun of a game today as the rest of the weekend, but yeah, we will get through it. I'm on a hot spot. You're in a new location. Let's kind of attack this thing. Before we do, though, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. Stat every matchup and even live odds spreads while the games are played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here. Well, again, 6-0 loss to the Phillies today. They couldn't complete the sweep. At the end of the day, it's a series win against the Philadelphia Phillies, which I think we all would have taken this at the beginning, going into the weekend. But we lose 6-0. Tyler Phillips, making his second career start for the Phillies, came into today. He had a 4.89 ERA in AAA this year. He made his major league debut just a couple of weeks ago. Today was only his second start, and he just absolutely shut down this Pirates lineup. The Pirates were able to get 0 runs, 4 hits off of him. He just he dominated all day. Marco Gonzales started for the Pirates. I don't think he pitched poorly. He didn't really pitch great by any means, but he didn't pitch poorly. And then some sloppy play kind of towards the end of the game led to some additional Philadelphia Phillies runs. But let's get into this. What did you think about? I think the story of today was just the offense wasn't there again, right? We're seeing a little bit more consistency from the offense, but it's still not where we need it to be. Friday they scored those 8 runs. Yesterday they scored 4 runs, and really that's what we need from them, right? We need them to score 4 runs. And today they just weren't able to do it, right?
But you're exactly right. Look, we saw a lot of things in this game that sort of bring up some of our uncomfortable feelings. It was a sloppy game. The Pirates hitters helped out Mr. Phillips there, that, swinging at 3-0, balls to hit into double plays and that, getting 3-0 counts and still striking out, that sort of thing. But ultimately, I'm not too mad. Right. You saw there was a lot of things in this game that you wouldn't like and are frustrating. But as you said, we took 2 out of 3 out of the Phillies, and we've yet to pitch one of our best 2 pitchers. When we saw who we were going to start over the weekend, I don't think any of us thought, "Oh yeah, we got this series on lockdown." And you just took 2 out of 3 out of, if not the odds-on favorite to win the World Series, certainly the odds-on favorite probably to get to be the National League representative. I mean, they're the best team in baseball right now. And today, Bryce Harper came up for the first time with a man on base. This was a great series. It sort of ends in a flat, a game that again brings up some of the fears. Oh no, we're back to not hitting again. Brian Reynolds didn't get a hit. O'Neill Cruz didn't get hit, and they've been the driving force behind it all. But ultimately, it's 2 out of 3. We got the Cardinals coming, and we got our 2 best pitchers pitching. So I like where we are. It's easy to be, trepidatious as a Pirate fan and worry about every little thing. But as it stands, you said not a good game in any facet, really, other than, like you said, Gonzales was okay. He was okay. But everything after that was just either sloppy or, whatever, just flat and energyless.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to put it. I mean, the beginning of the series, right, Friday and Saturday, you saw a ton of production from Andrew McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, and O'Neill Cruz, right? And when those 3 guys are clicking and they're doing what you want to see them do, good things happen, right? Like the previous 2 games. Today, Kutch went 1 for 4, Reynolds 0 for 3, Cruz 0 for 4. When those 3 guys just don't do much offensively, you're probably going to lose, because as we've seen, those are the guys that drive this offense. And yeah, when they're not performing, it's going to be tough sledding. Joey Bart with 2 hits today, but not a single extra base hit today from the entire Pirates lineup. They only had 1 at bat with a runner in scoring position the entire game. So like they never even sniffed scoring today, right?
They never threatened.
Yeah, I mean, at no point was it even considering, at no point were the Pirates even considering scoring a run. I guess the closest they got was when Cruz came up with runners on first and second there, that one time. That was their only at bat with runners in scoring position, and yeah, it didn't amount to anything. But I mean, you got to tip your hat to Tyler Phillips. Like great game from him. The Phillies bullpen shut the Pirates down, and I think with I don't know if maybe they just, the last 2 nights were so being there, right? The last 2 nights, very emotional games. Friday was crazy. Saturday crowd was crazy again. I don't know if maybe they just ran out of steam, right? But I mean, it was like 3 straight really, really big games for them, and they just didn't have it tonight, because not only did the offense not really play well, but you saw O'Neill Cruz make a couple blunders in the field, especially that there was a double play ball that led to some runs in the 7th inning, where the Pirates should have gotten to the bottom of the 7th down 2-0. Cruz drops a ball, they would have had a double play. Next thing you know, it's 5-0 Phillies, and the game's pretty much out of reach at that point. Not only that, Nick Castellanos doing his thing, where you get a major piece of news coming out, and Nick Castellanos delivers a home run. So that was I think on my way home we placed a live bet on a Nick Castellanos. We were like, Joe Biden's out of this race, Nick Castellanos is going to homer. We bet on Nick Castellanos to homer in like the 4th inning. So that paid out. He did his thing. But
bet online, of course. Right.
Yeah. It was just a sloppy game. It just wasn't their game today. And you're going to have that at the end of the day. They won 2 out of 3 in this series. We would have all taken that. And
right. Follow this up with taking 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. And this game is just a blip, and it's fine. It's fine, right? Now, I mean, it's how you respond to these little things is what matters. And we are well positioned, to handle St. Louis is not that good a team. And I never get cocky. I'm nervous when we play Oakland. I'm nervous when we play the Marlins. I'm but you couldn't ask for a better situation, the better guys pitching that and hope that you can just get to St. Louis in the next 3 days. And these are obviously very important games as they are, they impact the wild card and more importantly, the division. So,
yeah. Again, big series. The sweep would have been, absolute best case scenario, but you got to be happy with 2 out of 3. This St. Louis series coming up is probably the biggest series that the Pirates have played since 2018.
Yeah, at least. Right. I mean,
name another series up to this point that's been like a bigger, that is meant.
It's certainly the biggest one of the Ben Cherington era. Nothing close to this. So, right. Yeah. I mean, you could nitpick about, was it in 2018 or whatever, but this is, in this decade, right? This is the most significant, and there's nothing been close.
Max brings up a big point too. Like they took 2 out of 3 here, and they didn't have to go with Keller. They didn't have to go with Skeens. So yeah, huge win. And now you've got, like I said, biggest series coming up, and you've got your two ride or dies going, in the first 2 games. So you love seeing that. Outside that, with the bullpen, I liked what I saw out of Dennis Santana today. Again, I didn't really see it because we were listening. I was in the car. I was listening to it, but he came in that 5th inning when Marco Gonzales got into a little bit of trouble. He got out of that jam, kept the game at 2-0, pitched a scoreless 6th inning. I think we need to give Dennis Santana a little bit of praise here. He was a guy when the Pirates, acquired him from the Yankees, waiver wire pickup. I think pretty much everybody just brushed it off, laughed at it. Like, I mean, right. Santana wasn't good for the Yankees by any means.
And I don't want to compare him to the King, but that's exactly what we did with him last year, right? We picked him up and we're like, oh, who is this? And it took a long time for North Shore 9 to come around on King Baraki. So, and I'm not saying, this guy, but he's pitched since that first outing. I think he's pitched really well. I'm not scared to death when he comes in. There's room for him in this bullpen. Again, what is he, the 10th guy down the champion? We're not bringing him in in high leverage situations, but he's responding. He's pitching well. Give him his flowers.
Yeah, today was his 12th game as a Pirate, and he's put up a 0 in 10 of those. So you go out there 12 times and you pitch a scoreless outing 10 out of 12 times, you're going to get the job done. And one of those outings was a complete blow up, but it was in a game that was pretty much already, over. But yeah, so far he's been really good, and he actually has pitched in 4 straight wins coming into today. So he's being used in a little bit more. They're trusting him a little bit more, right? And like I said, today they brought him in. It wasn't like a huge moment, like it's middle relief, but that was a make or break moment in that game. If he doesn't get out of that, the game's over right then and there in the 5th inning.
Right. They could have broke the game open there. Right. Exactly.
Yep. And he
it turns out, all they needed was 1 run, but
right.
Again, things may get approached differently. You maybe the intensity of the moment makes things a little more focused for some, but he's pitched fine, right? He's pitched really well. Like you said, 10 of his 12 outings, he hasn't given up a run. I'm happy when Bednar has those kind of stretches, right? You're happy when a Chapman has that kind of stretch. So, yeah.
You'll absolutely take that from a June waiver wire pickup. Like, you'll take that 10 out of 10 times.
Every time.
Yep. Nicholas came in. He was the beneficiary of that Cruz error. He should have been a scoreless inning, but he gives up 3 runs, didn't really respond all that well to the error. Inning kept going. The Phillies were able to push a few extra runs across. Fleming comes in, gets hit around. He gives up the homer to Castellanos. At that point, though, I think the game was pretty much out of reach just with the way this offense was going. Again, the offense was, let's just face it, they were bad. They were bad today. And I think this is the type of game where, we've seen more consistency. We've seen them score more. But this is the kind of game where it's like you need to go out there and find help, right? Because at any given moment, this offense just shuts down like this. And what they really need is someone who can just hit a ball over the fence. Like, they need more people who can score runs with a swing of the bat, with one swing of the bat. And right now, there's not enough people on this team who can do that at a level that you are happy with. Like, I mean, you look up and down this lineup, and there's really only, I'll say, I'm, as far as like home run power goes, you're happy with what Kutch is giving you. You're happy with what Reynolds is giving you. You're happy with what Bart is probably giving you, right? All things considered. You probably even want to see some more home runs out of Cruz. Now, he's looked really, really good lately, so I think they're going to come. But like when you have nine guys in your lineup and 6 of them, you don't really feel all that great about consistently putting balls over the fence. Games like this happen because they weren't able to string any sort of hits together like they were on Friday.
Right. Yeah, it'll be very frustrating if this team doesn't make a significant type move for a bat. Right. I mean, it's all there, right? You just had Paul Skeens be the star of the show, of the pregame show, of the red carpet show. You've got Brian Reynolds on fire. Look how the fans, and I know there's a lot of Philly fans there, but people are paying attention. I don't know how much you listen to other podcasts and stuff. That's all everybody's. The national media was demanding that Paul Skeens start. Right. The Pirates are not going to have too many opportunities like this. Don't Mike Trout this thing. Get him into the playoffs. Get this guy on the national stage. Mm-hmm. Grow your product. That's what you'll do. This isn't just a baseball opportunity. It's a business opportunity. And you guys talked to like Harris and different. None of us have confidence, right? We just don't believe. We don't believe they'll spend the $4 that they need to. We don't believe that. We don't have that much faith that Cherington will get the right guy. He'll make the right acquisition, but they need to. They need to step up here. This is just a golden opportunity for this team. And I mean, if you can get Luis Ortiz, you have to throw him in the mix now, and Mitch Keller, Paul Skeens, and Jared Jones, and maybe a Falter. I mean, into the playoffs, you have a chance. But not with that offense, right? I mean, they'll lose 2-1, and it'll be reminiscent of some of those May games. So you're right. We need consistent. We just need a couple of guys that can consistently produce.
Yeah, and again, I think you get 2 outfielders. That's what you need. You need 2 outfielders.
Right.
Who can hit the ball a little bit. That's what they're needing right now. And I do think that they will find at least one. I really do. I think they're going to go out there and they're going to find at least one, but I would like to see them get 2.
Yeah, I mean, right. Exactly. And I mean, that's the obvious thing to do is get 2, and I agree they'll get somebody, it's got to be the right somebody. And then whatever like minor thing they do to complement that better work out better than we expect to, right? But yeah, right. I mean, the vibes are good now. I think Bucko Mike made fun of me for talking about the sweep of the White Sox last week. Well, it's 2 out of 3 out of the Phillies. I think that's pretty good. The best team, and like I said, exciting, dramatic fashion. Luis Ortiz was fantastic yesterday. I mean, yeah, let's build on this. It's time to separate. You look at the schedule and you see who we got: San Diego, Arizona, St. Louis. It's time to start putting some distance. It's passing those teams and then putting them in the rear view.
Yeah, I mean, I said it's still that 9-team division that I've been talking about for a while, right? Put yourself in a division with those 9 teams and finish top 2. Like that's what you got to do. And Tyler mentioned a few weeks back that, in order for them to really do something here, they're going to have to reel off wins. Like they're going to have to reel off a string of wins. Well, guess what? They just did it. They just did that. They won 6 in a row. They've won 8 of 10. So this is the stretch that we needed to see from them to put them in a position that they're well within striking distance. And yeah, like right now they are within striking distance. They are a game out of a playoff spot. It's July 21st. Trade deadlines in 9 days, 10 days, whatever it is. they're in a position to make some noise. Like whether you think this team is all that good or not, guess what? 6 teams make the playoffs. The top 6 teams make the playoffs, no matter how good or bad those teams are, right? And right now, the Pirates are very well in reach of being a top 6 playoff team. So
Arizona last year, right? Nobody thought Arizona was going to do anything. They were an underdog in every series. They went to the World Series. Especially, and they didn't have the pitching that we have right now, right? A lot could happen. And you're right. They ran, it was 6 in a row, and it's 8 of 10. They need to do it, a 15-5 type run. You don't have to it doesn't have to be all long winning streaks. Just 2 out of 3. Just keep at it. Keep plugging away. Win 3 or 4 in a row, and then make sure you take series. They're right. They're in a very good position, and probably not where they want to be. They'd like to be a little further. You look at some of the losses over the season, but they have every opportunity. It's right in front of them, and continue on with getting a little better offensively. Some of the guys producing and getting a little more consistent, but you have to add from the outside.
Yeah, and again, like the schedule coming up, they're in a spot where it's going to be make or break. Like we're going to probably know by like mid-August whether or not this team's got a real shot, because you look at the schedule coming up and we talk about the 9-team division, right? 3 against St. Louis.
San Diego, in Arizona.
3 against St. Louis. They're in there, right? 3 against, and St. Louis is above the Pirates right now, right? 3 against St. Louis. Then 3 against Arizona, who's above the Pirates right now. Then another 3 against Arizona in early August, who are above the Pirates right now. Then 3 against the San Diego, and then another 3 against San Diego. So yeah, like they've got 6 games against Arizona, 6 games against San Diego, 3 games against St. Louis. All
they
before
can go
August
4
15th.
out of 6, right? 4 out of 6, and both of those with San Diego and Arizona. Suddenly you're ahead of them, and they're reacting to what you're doing, and confidence gets going. You get the city even more behind you. Something you could get something good. You could get a good roll, a good vibe going.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a wild next. It's going to be like 3 weeks. Like these next 3 weeks are make or break time, because you are almost every game you're playing is against these teams who are directly ahead of you in the standings.
Right.
And
it's the teams only, right in front. It's only
they're only ahead of you by like a game. Yep.
Yeah. And it's what I'm saying. You pick up 2 games, 1 game in each series, and suddenly you've got 2 or 3 games up on some of these teams, and give yourself a little breathing room, and just keep pressing the accelerator down.
Yeah. And like they just gotta add a bat. It's the only way they're going to beat those teams is probably with a little bit of help. I think they're capable of treading water just because of their pitching. But if you want to make noise and you want to jump ahead, because they need to jump ahead of at least 3 teams right now. And in order to do that, you gotta pick up a little bit of help. We'll see what they do.
Right, you can't go 6-6 and expect to make up a bunch of ground, right? You've got to, right? You can't just You've got to, and that's why they need to pick it up sooner rather than later. These games are coming up now. They're not August 1st, right? There's 10 days left in this month. Let's get somebody tomorrow. Let's win some games now.
Yeah. If you want somebody right now, you may need to pay a little bit more just to get him now. But these next like 2 weeks are really important, and you want to get as much help as you can. So I agree. This is on Ben Cherington now. Like Ben Cherington, it's his job to get this team to the postseason. They are close enough with this pitching staff that he's got to figure out a way to make it happen. And he's gotten to he's at least built a team to put them in striking distance. But with this staff, you've got to get this team to the playoffs. It is a disservice to the fans, the Pirates organization, the players. Is a disservice to them if you can't figure out a way to surround these guys who have gotten you to this point with just a little bit more help to push them over the edge to get into the postseason. Because if this team can get into the postseason, Doug, like they've got the pitching. We just saw them take 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. We just saw them take 2 out of 3 on the road against the Brewers. Because guess what? When they go to the playoffs, if they're that 6th team, they're facing Milwaukee, right? In Milwaukee for that 3-game wild card spot. We just won that series. Like it just happened.
Yeah,
we
happened.
Beat,
right?
Yeah, it just happened. So like get us there. That is the most important part right now.
It's
get us.
Skeens is reminding me of Mike Trout, and I mean I know it's different, but it's like they just and they tried. They spent money. They made bad signings, whatever. But when you've got somebody like Paul Skeens, who you feel is going to win you 2 games in every series. Right. You've got to get him there. This doesn't happen. You've said it many times. Is he the best pitcher you've ever seen? Right. He's the best Pirate pitcher. You can't waste this. You can't say, well, we'll just incrementally improve. We'll be a little better next year. And, we're going to have some people coming up from. No. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know. Take advantage, do something significant, something meaningful.
100%. All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, again, I apologize.
Good weekend, bad game. I think both of our internets, they both our internets came through in the clutch.
We may have gotten through the end. Very Pirate-like, a little shaky, but got there. In the end, we got you there.
We got the job done. So, I appreciate everybody in the comments. Thanks for hopping on today. Everybody who's watching this later, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you're listening to this on the podcast afterwards, we love you guys as well. DiNardo and I will have Starbucks tomorrow morning, where we'll recap the weekend. We'll preview the Cardinals series. We'll have Murphy on to talk some prospects who, prospects at this point in time, that's trade capital right now. So who do we got down
Jim's
there?
Very excited to talk Mitch Jeb tomorrow. So
yeah, who we got down there who's gonna maybe get us that next bat to put us over the edge. So join us tomorrow for that. But outside that, have a good rest of your weekend, guys. Enjoy the 2 out of 3 win. It was a great series win. Didn't go according to plan today, but all in all, you gotta be happy with how this weekend went.
We got Keller going against St. Louis tomorrow, so it's a great way to start the week, and we'll have a post-game show tomorrow.
We will. All right, guys, we're out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll talk to you later.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.